Hello, I'm Ice37, and today I'll be doing a talk-through guide of Rain World Pebbles route. So, talk-through basically means that I'm going to be doing a run, and I'm just going to be saying exactly what I think is some of the few ways you can go through areas, how you should be thinking when you're going through areas, how you should deal with certain creatures in certain areas. I'm basically talking as it happens. Now, the Pebbles run specifically, as a background, has the single longest and single hardest distance you have to travel at one period. However, it actually becomes a bit easier than what one of the 100% runs has to do, depending on how you route it, or what Pilgrimage has to do, simply because when you get to the wall, you no longer have to worry about the rain if you've done it right. Now, I'm gonna try to time the rain timer just so it finishes right when we get there. But effectively, after a certain room at the wall, the rain will no longer be able to kill you, and that's what we're gonna bank on to get by the 4 white lizards, the one blue lizard that can be anywhere. I'll talk about it more specifically as it happens. All right, I need to make sure I'm in a good save here. Let's not do this one right quick. That's the other big one. Sorry about that. Alright, seems like a good one. So, one thing to note is that although I know all of my saves are fine, at least last time I checked, but one thing to note is that the 3 slug cats are in chronological order. So if Survivor meets Pebbles and then Monk meets Pebbles, Monk will know how to deal with slug cats because he's dealt with them before. It is the same if Hunter has met Pebbles. So if you have a Hunter run that has at least met Pebbles, you could reset it. It doesn't matter. If you had a Hunter run that has met Pebbles, when you initially meet him, he won't do the full pictogram dialogue, and instead will immediately give you the mark as Survivor and Monk. So that is a pretty big time save, and it's the only thing that you can do before any Rain World run that will actually speed it up. And it's just because it's better to leave in something that is seemingly intended by the developers than just ban something and it's just like, oh, I accidentally had a save file that had it or not. I might have completely wiped this save and it may show the whole thing, but that'll give me some time to talk about stuff. But for now, I'm just going to start it out and we'll just keep going. Give me a second. There we go. So, I'm going to pretend that you haven't seen the other runs, but effectively, well, let's start this first. I'll say what's happening. So I am holding the left trigger, and that means I have the R key on the keyboard bound to the left trigger. And so if I hold it while the circle is filling and it fills, it will skip the intro cutscene, which saves about 12 seconds just from load times. Additionally, the first time you ever launch the game, doesn't matter which slug cat, it will take a bit longer to load. This is about a 1 second difference. So usually you want to launch the game, just like try to get used to the fall if you're playing a Survivor or Monk, and then launch the game again, and then that will be when it actually matters. So basically just be holding the R key when the circle fills, and that's all you need to care about. And go. Alright, so for 3 seconds we're holding right, and then we jump, and then we're holding down to the right to actually get a good roll. It takes a little while to actually get used to the blind movement there, but effectively, the moment the circle fills, we're moving in the background. Alright, I'm not going to say all the specifics about moving through this area, but some basics just like when your head is in the back at the background pipe there, you can jump off to do a roll over there. You have to do a leap here because any other movement will get blocked. You can immediately jump out of a roll, trying to roll there. Additionally, you may think, oh, we're ignoring the tutorial completely, and why isn't it raining right now? Basically, if you leave the tutorial without eating any food, it won't do the scripted rain, and we can just do whatever. Alright, no spears spawn, so I don't get to show my special movement through here. Or show the normal movement. That being, just you can slide under here, and you come up here, and you can roll off of... You can roll off of here. If not, you can either just throw something, or you can do a pounce there. That's good. There's also a tricky movement where you do a backflip, and you kind of pogo off the top of there. I'm going to do my special movement on here because I love doing it, and I'm showing it. Making sure the spear is in the left hand. That's a bit too low. So you can get, if you go one block higher, stuck in the wall, you can then jump off like that and throw a rock and make it. We'll not worry about it. I'm stalling anyway at this point. Alright, so we saw a green here. For the most part, you don't want to worry about greens or really anything, because if you died this early in the run, you might as well just reset. So you just go full in for the eat. I kind of fell down, which I didn't intend to. You go for the 2 on the right, and then you get the other 2. And you just want to eat 3, and then you want to get a bat fly. And this is the fastest way to get food here. You can do other methods of getting food, but getting the berries and then hoping for a bat fly is always good. Bat flies won't run away from you when they haven't seen you for terribly long. Obviously, they're all gonna act a bit differently, but that's just how it goes. This is gonna be just like the pilgrimage run. We're gonna take this shelter. We're gonna be continuing. So, grab a berry, stick your head in either the left or the right corner, and then hold down to starve. We're going to do a karma caching now. This makes it so we can climb the karma ladder as easy as possible. Effectively, we're starving, and then we're quitting out within 30 seconds of the game starting. So the cycle doesn't actually pass. We quit out here, not at the sleep menu. And the cycle doesn't actually pass, but our karma goes up, and we get to starve again. And we just keep going up and up, and the cycle doesn't actually pass, which is also really great. Additionally, the reason why I'm saying pick up the berry and then stuff your face in the corner is because if your head is over the center area, you can't actually starve, because it'll wake you up. In the event it opens before you can starve, you kind of stand in this corner and then hold down, and then you'll starve. At this point, food is irrelevant. We want the 4 karma that we're currently at, and we're going off to the left here. Try to do some fancy movement if you want. I should have got a roll there. That was interesting. I was just holding it wrong. That green can sometimes get you, but the real threat is the purple. You really don't want to fear greens unless they see you for a particularly long period of time. I messed up some movement, and that doesn't matter. We are playing Survivor. I recommend you play as Monk for a few reasons. One being that you are literally just faster because you get to eat less food, but also because of this purple lizard in front of us. He could be there, he could not be there. He is there today. If we get our next to a pipe as a purple goes through a pipe, or any lizard, it will instantly bite you. And the timing of when you get there, if you're going pretty fast and the lizard coming through there, more often than not, you're going to instantly die of the purple. So I've named him the instant death purple. I'm just going to make sure we don't die here. You could jump over him in that situation. You can get by him faster before he gets there, but he also doesn't always go that direction. Alright, so we're going to be going over here. We don't need food like to the pilgrimage run. So we're not eating any of that food. It would be nice if we grabbed a squid cicada so we could go up fast, but getting bat flies is nice too. Because then we can lure the actual squid cicada we want. We want this white squid cicada because he has far more stamina than the others. There's only one white squid cicada and he lives up to the left here. Although he can move around areas. Usually want to have a bat fly and then a rock ready. to stun him so you can pick him up easy. But they don't often, the white squid skater doesn't often really work with you, if you can tell. We want to wait till he starts flapping, then we can go. Because I want him to actually be able to move and not be a hindrance on me. Because they really don't regain stamina well when you're moving around with them. So white squid skater, you could probably jump about 7 times in quick succession before they get tired. Compared to the darker ones, it takes 3, which can easily accidentally happen. And then on the 3rd jump, you're usually getting a short jump and not the full height that you want. Alright, so something I did forget to check, but should have remembered, is the actual cycle timer. We are on the clock. I'm going to check here. We are on the clock to get to... That looks like a good timer for me, but we are on the clock to get to the wall within the timer limit. But considering I know I can go through this area pretty fast, both through industrial and chimney pretty fast, this is the exact timer that I want, because I'm basically going to be getting there when it's going to start raiding. It might be a little close because I haven't done this route in a while. But if you're just starting out and you want to make sure you just get there, I'd recommend making sure you get the biggest cycle you can. You can just quit out repeatedly. I recommend only jumping off the wall once, because if you jump off multiple times, Squid Skater doesn't exactly cooperate with you going through the pipe. Additionally, the Squid Skater has priority over you to go through pipes. It's something you want to remember for something coming up. I'll point it out. Alright, right here, blue lizard. You can actually belly slide under him. I didn't expect him to be so close, so I didn't really try. Blue lizards will also fall in situations like this, unless they're against a pole like that. But the squid cicada cannot be grabbed out of your hands by a lizard. They can be by vultures. But they can't be grabbed out of your hands by a lizard. Meaning that they're basically a protective barrier for you. So you can actually slide underneath that blue lizard if you time it right. But he was a bit closer than I expected. Here's something that happens every so often. The blue lizard's not going to come towards us. I'm betting that right now. Yep. And the white lizard we want to bait over here. If he grabs the squid cicada, he'll drop it because he's actually going for us. And if we're out of, he can't see us, he'll stop. Effectively, something that you should know, that's a bit annoying, is that he can't actually walk. They can't walk on the background in the center of this room. Which is a bit strange if you think about it, because it looks like they can. This is extremely annoying. I probably could have been jumping over the blue by now, but it's fine. But additionally, blue lizards will always go high, while white lizards will go low whenever that's possible. I always take the bet that they won't follow me here. Blue lizards won't follow you through there more often than not. The white lizards might, but that's something that normally happens. There's multiple white lizards. So I'm still kind of looking out. They can be at the top here, but that's more often than not true. I want to get the good wall jumps in there, and then try to get a medium hop in here through the pipe. But I didn't get that perfectly, but it worked out. At this point, if you're seeing half cycle right now, you're probably getting there just at the right time, right if you're going through this gate. Alright, I know that might not have made a perfect amount of sense, but effectively what you need to know is that the white lizard will always go low and can't walk on the normal wall in the background in the middle of the room, so you lead them back there and jump over them. Purple lizard often likes to be there, is something you need to remember. But there's not much you can really do about that, other than get through there before he does. There's a lot of pipes in this game that have little warning. That one is kind of one. The one where the instant death purple is very much one. This is not a good situation. It happens every once in a while. But blue lizards white lizards and purples can be all over this area. All over the past room, this room, and most definitely the next room as well. This is quite annoying, because there's many of them. He might be dead, which would be great. Trying to get them to follow me. The purple will fall here. The white lizard will get a bit annoying. Maybe not. This is probably the worst setup, but they're all stacked on each other, which is great. The blue lizard coming through is a bit annoying, because he will try to go for us. He can't actually walk in the background here, so he'll go on the pole or the side of the wall. Considering we've seen most of the lizards in this area, because there's like 4 purples and 2 whites and then a few blues, I'm not going to be too scared coming through this area. This screen transition is the worst in the game, for me personally. So, all the way on the left, kind of a bit higher up, there's also a in-room teleport pipe. When you take it, you'll come out on this block that's on the top of the center screen, but it won't transition the screen for you until right when you get there. So that's something you need to realize, and white lizards especially like the camp there. Additionally, if we're coming up the sides like we are going straight up with a squid cicada right now, it's very easy just to die to a lizard being there. A purple could have just fallen down there. A white lizard could be camping there. A lot of things can happen, so sometimes you might want to peek for a second and bait it out and come back down, but I'm betting there's nothing there. You really want to be listening for things. I always go up to the right here because it's always the safe option, because lizards don't like to hang out over there. This is the point where this guy's probably scared from a vulture in the other room. This is the point where vultures start becoming a thing. This room you kind of want to get out of here fast. You could stand right here. Ooh, and normal jump straight up to here. You can also do this little jump here. If you do jumping off the side. So if you're holding onto a pole like this, and then you jump as you're coming up, you get a little higher jump and you actually make it up to that block there. I'm trying to explain things while also still trying to go fast because we only have so much time. White lizards like to hang out at the top of this room and anywhere really randomly in the room, so you always need to be looking. They typically don't trigger threat themes, so that's something you need to be aware of. Vultures will often spawning in when you get here though, and then they'll get scared and then you'll know where they are. Always use the teleport pipes to your advantage in that room, especially. Additionally, what I did right there, so you can just jump straight out of the boost out of this central pipe we kind of out of, and just kind of land on this false floor here. That's always scary, so I always go straight up and around to make sure we actually make it. Additionally, I'm not trying to go into the pipe here on the right immediately. I'm waiting for the squid cicada to even out, because that can mess up your movement just a bit, and you might just fall off the edge, and then you're not prepared for it. You get really scared, you make a bunch of mistakes, and then you're dead. So always be calm in situations like this, because you're more likely to panic or try to move too fast. And you are your own worst enemy. Not the lizards, not the vultures, you. In that room. Obviously, whites can camp you a bit and just physically block you, but don't worry about it too much. You want to make sure you get a good jump there. If you're jumping across the entirety of this screen, and then you get to this jump, the squid cicada could be at its tired jump and won't actually make it. So don't just be mindlessly jumping, and then you get to the actual jump that matters and then just die. So just be normal walking. I recommend, just so you actually make it. You can obviously, if you want to go faster and faster, you can experiment with belly slides and jumping, etc. But I would not recommend it, at least starting out. Alright, so squid cicada has priority over you through pipes. I forgot to mention it in chimney canopy, and forgot to mention it in industrial, but there was one pipe where the blue was behind us and it stalled. You hold up when the squid cicada is over the pipe, you will go through the pipe because squid cicada has priority. But if you just try to go all the way to the corner and then go up, you actually won't go through because the squid cicada is kind of in the pipe, but not really, and then you're not going through either. So, yeah, something you gotta remember. Also, here you kind of want to crouch into it, like that. Put your face directly into it, not just walk into it. Like kind of fall into it a little bit. We're doing good on time, as far as I can tell. Yep. We need to go up 3 rooms. So we're gonna go into this next room. And then there's the next long room, and then there's the bat fly room, and if we make it through that room, we're fine. Really just the room after this next one is that what matters. Something to note, so chimney canopy, if you get here early, you need to remember you need to worry about 6 creatures, that being the drop wig, the blue lizard, which could be anywhere, and the 4 white lizards. Now, I've been noticing stranger and stranger behavior from the white lizards. Normally, they're only fairly high up, and I'll talk about their locations in a moment when we pass there. But I'm noticing them coming down in the lower areas a bit more. So at this point, it's raining. It's about to rain, and I don't expect any creatures will be here. A drop wig would normally be on the ceiling. I just walked under. We're fine. I recommend taking the outside way, 1, because you have options in case there is something in the way. And 2, it's faster. Alright, so it's good that it's raining. Everything's going to be running home. If you are... I'll talk about it in a second. But effectively, even if you were going up through here and you're like, but there's oranges as well, we're not going to see them at all because we have the squid cicada. The whole point of the squid cicada is to enhance our vertical movement, which is for chimney canopy and is especially for the wall. Alright, I take this just for being able to boost out of this pipe and getting up there easy. So now squid cicada is used for this jump right here, so you can get up there. Also used for this jump. Normally you need a spear to get up here. We completely ignore that area off to the left. Currently, you see the rain, everything's shaking around. It's going to be a little annoying to cross this area because you'll kind of be shaken off the pole repeatedly. As long as you make sure you know what you're doing, you'll be fine. You can't actually die in this room. You cannot at all. Unless you fall off for some reason. Same with this room. So, this room normally has the white lizards here. If you get here early, they'll probably be camping. You might just want to pipe juke at the pipe at the beginning. They don't like to go down the room where we just were. Although if they are there and it's starting to rain, they will all run all the way back up to the top of the wall because they're scared of the rain. And you do not want to be in their way, especially in 1 wide pipes, which we'll be dealing with as we're going up through here. But effectively, if you are here and they're not scared of the rain yet, and you can get up here, this block is your friend. Effectively, there's one all the way to that pipe to the right. They can see you. They'll try to lick you. They lick the squid cicada, and then you're down here. Doesn't matter, because they try to go for you. They'll stop licking the squid cicada. You can break their tongue off the block here. They'll try to go low and follow the block, and you can just kind of jump over them. Alright, so now we're just going to keep going. White lizard's doing something weird. He lives down in this room below here. So that's something you always need to worry about, is the white lizards tend to stray very far from where they actually live. I said that kind of loud, sorry. So you will always see them, even if it's been raining for a while, going back to their shelters. They tend to be in this room quite a lot, and that can be pretty scary. Especially on stream transitions, especially this one. I normally try to bait it and then go back if I'm here early. Additionally, if I haven't already said, so obviously we got here at the ideal time, right when this cycle timer ended. Maybe you're not confident getting here fast enough. If you quit out repeatedly and just start over repeatedly, you'll get different cycle timers until you get the maximum one, which is one where it has the dot right at the top and they look all clustered. It's hard to explain unless you've seen it, but we did not have the biggest cycle timer, if that explains anything. Typically, I like to go up the outside way because it's safer, and you don't want to be in these pipes when lizards are running by, but there's definitely not one underneath us, and there's no way there's one coming down. Lizards live in these pipes here, these two broken ones, and there's one that lives up here, sometimes two, depending. They do not like to be in this room, despite the fact that at least one lives in this room. They live on these two broken pipes here. Alright, this point on, we're looking for a spear. I see one. You can do the getting up through Pebbles with a... Can you actually go through this? Yes, I don't know why I went that way. You can get up through and get to Pebbles with a squid cicada by bouncing on them, but I'm not terribly versed in that, and I wouldn't expect you to do that. Additionally, you may want to purposely sacrifice your squid cicada to the white lizards, depending on what's happening. Either way, I recommend you know how to do the one spear tactic to get into Pebbles. We're just going. We do that, and then I'm just too low. So basically, you can roll up one block heights. So we want to start a roll about right here. Ooh. And just like that. And then you're holding up to hold on the spear. If you don't actually hold on to it, that's not too bad, because then you can just do it again. Effectively, listen to the roll here. Oh. So, dun 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 dun. It will always sound the same every time. And the farther your roll goes, the more the trajectory changes. And you want to jump farther into the roll to get a higher jump. So you can actually make it to actually plant that spear. Something else I'm going to say real quick is, say you messed it up and you speared the wall accidentally. The two broken pipes down here, all the way down the right here, they often can have spears in them, even if it doesn't look like it. I've pulled spears out of there multiple times. It can be very useful. Alright, so here's movement through the top of Pebbles. Okay, interesting. Effectively just be using throwables to your advantage. You can do the super back throw slide that I did a second ago on a lot of these locations. You can do it up and down slopes like right here. Additionally, when it comes to rolls, the general rule of thumb is that... I'm just getting this real quick. Okay. General rule of thumb is that you can always get a roll if you are in a roll, get another roll if you're in a roll and you jump out of it and then you land one block down. Additionally, you can do back throws here. Effectively, what I'm saying is, so if you do a roll here, then you jump out of it, and then say you land one block down here, you'll get another roll, as long as you are in the roll for at least a moment. Additionally, you can always get another roll off of flat ground, but you have to time it right at the end of the roll for Survivor. It's a bit easier for Hunter, so don't worry about that much. Alright, so now we're gonna go into Pebbles. I'm gonna hope the save file is actually set up right, so it gives me the mark immediately. I'm going to talk about some movement actually going up. Obviously, you always want to practice climbing ladders, as we are in a second. So you have plenty of time for that, as you'll be dealing with ladders quite a lot anyway. It would be good to do a back throw there, so you'd want to keep a item with you going through the gate. Ooh. And then here we are, into the 0G section, the gradient at least. You want to fall all the way through, maybe grab the pole for a moment so you don't hard fall. You can get stunned from that fall. So this last part right here, don't roll, just crawl. And then you want to jump all the way to the left, so hit the wall here, and then go straight down. Alright, so something to notice, so obviously that went very well. So now say if I was just like over here. You can crawl along the edge, and Slugcat will slowly push you along. Also, you can wiggle in the direction, and you'll slowly go in that direction. For crawling along the edge, If you go towards the broken pipe and you go into it, it will push you out of it violently. So while you're crossing it, don't press anything. And then you want to try to go back right into it. The actual pipe. I went a bit too far. If you go into the broken pipe, you'll be pushed out of it dramatically, and that's not what you want. Alright, you want to get right on this pipe. Maybe you have throwables, maybe you don't. And you want to get one good jump straight this way. Pick up throwables and you throw them, you pick up speed. If you pick up too much speed, you'll actually won't be able to grab this pipe and stop yourself. But you want to hold the opposite direction left to stop yourself on the pole. Alright, Pebbles. Because our hunter save actually met Pebbles at least once and then save, we'll immediately get the mark. Immediately when getting the mark, we can quit out. First of all, I'm just going to show you. We have the karma now. Immediately quit out, right when you hear the ding. And then we're back in outskirts, and we have the full karma. It works just like an echo, except it doesn't force you out. It's effectively what happens. And that's what we care about. Alright, so now we're here. And now we're doing an any percent run. Except now we're starting from here, instead of where you normally would for any percent. So we're just going to go down like normal. I messed that up. You can roll that a bit longer so you can actually make it to that block. The far one. And then we're just going to keep going. For right here, kind of fall, jump out immediately, and then jump a little bit after. Because this lizard hasn't seen us for very long, he can't actually bite us because he actually charges bite. He will often do his charge move. The charge move will always kill you if he gets you during his slide. You can just kind of walk into him if you're really not paying attention. Hold straight down. I use the D-pad to go straight down into that other pipe. You can go here, get a roll there, jump onto the pipe there. Don't grab or fanned the pole plant. Well, that was a mistake on my part. Please back off. Only the tip of the pole plant actually grabs you, by the way. Right now we're just kind of doing whatever at this point. Alright. We're gonna not deal with that. It appears he gets longer every time he has any interaction. Also, lizards are scared of pole plants, hence what's happening. Obviously, this is not what you want to have happen, but this is just me messing with it a little bit. They weren't really looking up, so they didn't expect me to be there. He missed the bite anyway, so I can just kind of roll off his head. Probably would have jumped a little bit further to the left, but it worked out. But at this point, it's just any percent. I'm still going to do it up till depths, because in case you haven't seen the any percent vid, it's still good to know. But effectively, the slide back throw, you want to worry more about the back throw and just kind of doing the slide and then making sure you're holding back so you do actually do the throw. You can get it in gates, just like I showed earlier, if you really want to time things perfectly and get some really good times. You can always get a roll out of there, you can always get a roll out of here. You try to grab the pole specifically. You can make this jump normally. It might seem like you can't. It is a little hard at times. You may want to have a rock if you're just starting to do that jump right there. Green will often be there. He can often block your way. If you think he's going to block your way, you may want to hit him with something or just kind of make noise to see if he turns around. What matters here is that the purple fell down. If the purple's up here, don't cross yet. There's multiple ways to go through this room. You can go the upper path over the circles, which you can often mess up by the geometry of it. You can go lower path where you take a spear and spear the wall and then climb all the way up. The problem with that is the purple and the green sometimes, but not often, can grab you. I always take the middle because it's the safest. You can just stand there. The purple will always see you if he's up on this top plate, and then he'll fall down. And we'll keep going. The axolotl now is a threat. And he can kill you here, just like Instant Death Purple, where he just kind of appears. There's little warning on this pipe, so you really want to be focusing on it. He can also be immediately outside this pipe. Alright, he's not. I see him. I personally like to leap from up here. You want to go down the middle pipe here. Considering this is not any percent, you don't need to worry about the hazer at all if you want to do the hazer skip for the Guardians. And we'll just drop in and we'll go down. Sometimes the axolotl can be at the bottom of the pipe we just jumped down. He will not be in this room, naturally. That is. He can accidentally fall into it and then have no way out, and then his AI kind of breaks. But sometimes he can get at the bottom of that pipe that we just jumped down. And you want to be aware of that, and you just want to be thinking about going to the pipe really fast. That's it. If you go into it really fast, he can't get you. We're going through. You can boost off inside of corridors without losing oxygen. Inside of tunnels without losing oxygen while underwater. If you're monk, you may want to not do the extra little boosts in the water to go a bit faster that I was doing there right when I came out of the tunnels and then going up, just because monk has a lower lung capacity. Here I like to hold left as I'm falling out, so you actually grab it well, and then you're immediately underneath the other tunnel as well. Additionally, I didn't really talk about it for this other section off to the right, but for both of these little pods here, I don't know what it is, on the bottom left and right, when you're in it and then you want to enter the tunnel to go to the next area, go straight into the tunnel. Don't come from the left or the right. You can't really come from the right, but don't come from the left and try to angle it in, because the game freaks out because you're in water and you're technically going to be clipping into terrain, so you get magically pushed out. And you'll know that when it happens, because you'll then be scared, as that is very close for you to get drowned if it happens like 2 times. If it happens like 3 times, you probably are going to drown, but you can probably still make it. You want to go straight into it and not from the side. You want your face to go straight into it, or else it kind of will physics bug you out. Alright, I like to boost to the top of the pipe here and then just jump up. Every pipe transition into tunnel or top of pipe, you can always do here. Here on the drop, if you tap to the left during the screen transition, you'll make it perfectly. I kind of held the stick, so it doesn't matter. I messed it up. You can boost off the wall there as you go through the pipe, so you can actually make it. You're probably going to be drowning when you come out, especially if you're monk. You can still make it without half drowning, but it's hard as monk. Here, you'd want the boost out of the pipe. I'm going to try to get it just to show something. So you can land like that, then you flop back. Here, good place to do the back throw. Messed it up the first time. Here, it's always faster just to do the wall jumps. For this too wide section, literally just go as fast as you can. Just be pointing towards the wall you want to jump off of when you want to jump. And that's it. You're basically, you can just press it as fast as you can. You learn the cadence as you learn it. When you get here, obviously you're probably going to hit the climb, and then you want to time it a little bit differently. And additionally, you want to see and try to predict when you'll actually grab the edge to climb up as well. Here, you can just jump off, then roll and jump. If you're scared, you can do a pounce from the lower section. And we'll just keep going. Here, I recommend jumping out of the roll immediately. And then here, we can do 5, and then jump up. I believe you can do it in 4, actually, but I haven't cared too much about that lately. Here, you want to be holding the edge right here, because the transition's faster than you think, and you don't want to fall down to the cup. You can take that really fast, but it can be kind of scary sometimes. Here, do the same thing. You can land here, and then there, then you want to throw something, and then you make it all the way. Additionally, if you don't really get that perfect string I just got, you can do another belly slide or back throw up the slope right at the end. Alright, so now we're in Subterranean. You can, at this point, as Monk and Survivor, get the 4 berries in this next room and then take a safety save. Obviously, at the end of the day, that's not going to be the fastest thing. Additionally, the mole lizards are going to harass you horrendously. because they will be in the wake pili. But there's 4 berries here. There's the shelter. You eat them. You go up to the shelter. Easy safety save. If this is one of your first runs, you don't want to lose it. But we're just gonna keep going down. You want to go here. Fireman. Fireman's actually a bit slow. You want to listen for the lizard here. Sometimes the blue lizard can come here. It still wanders around. But if he starts coming up, there's nothing you can do about it. You have to come all the way back up. So at this point, you might as well just make noise and try to get him to come over here. If you're on the pole, you're not making sound. If you're on the wall, you're not making sound. So he doesn't know you're there, unless he physically touches you, which is unlikely. Right, you can kind of just boost through. So learning the terrain of this area is always worthwhile. Everyone kind of freaks out. It's like, oh, I don't want to learn filtration. It's really, you don't need to know everything. Effectively, what you need to know is these 2 pipes here. You can boost out of the pipe, and you're kind of going to be jumping off these 2 blocks that are floating there. You got to, if you fall down, that's not too bad. But effectively, what you need to know is that you can boost all the way across here, and then fall down here, and then you take this pipe here, and then left here. Additionally, every single one of these giant reservoirs has 2 pipes. Well, not this one. Let me just remember this real quick. Additionally, every single reservoir has 2 pipes. The one is broken over there, but over here it isn't. We're not going to completely show it, but effectively you can see the map a little bit. Ooh, never mind. Yeah, we're going to pretend. We're not going to show that for now. I wanted to, but he fell down from above from earlier. But effectively, there's 2 pipes in the reservoir that you fall down initially. The right one will go to this teleport pipe that goes all the way back up to where the pipe is from the other room. And if you go to the left one, you can go in that section that I was just in before the lizard just fell on me. And that's what you want to take to get over here. Here, you could do a pounce from here if there's lizards below and you want to get by fast. Otherwise, also the rain's coming, that's why they're moving so fast. Okay, that's annoying. Ooh, give me a second here. Well, that's unfortunate. Either way, I've showed most of the run. It's unfortunate that this happened. I'm going to do this again, obviously. He's injured, so he dropped us, but we instantly died from a 30% chance. Yeah. So from that section I was just in, it's just a boost across that I was doing. And then you could fall straight down above this pipe that lizard just came out of that we want to go to. And then just keep going, and you just follow the lit path, first off to the left, down, off to the right, down, and then left, and then you're in depths, and that's it. I wasn't going to show anything in depths anyway, so that's everything that I can show for now. We might have a save where I can show some things real quick. Just for ending that out, because I know people don't like to deal with depths too much. I kind of just messed around. I would have already been gone, because that was the lizard from earlier. You always want to be moving when it comes to those types of things. Alright, this seems like... I don't know what this save was, but we'll see. Ah, this was the one where I was dealing with saving outside of shelters. Alright. So I'm just going... I have a passage. I'm going to go back up and just save, and then we'll passage down. At least there's no way we don't have a passage, as far as I'm aware. Additionally, you can do the whole run without a squid cicada, but it really isn't recommended. The whole point of the run is to get to Pebbles, and then quit out, and then you're all the way back in outskirts. That's the big deal of the Pebbles run. You can get anywhere in the 40 range, you're doing pretty good. But initial runs, you're probably going to take every save you want. You can get about an hour and 20 minutes, hour and a half. It doesn't look like I have any. Nope, it looks like I used the both of them. So that's unfortunate, but yeah, you want to see the rest of depths, well, if you want to see the rest of depths or the rest of filtration, it's the same as the ending of all the other runs. Although pilgrimage will come from the other side, but it'll be the same as for any percent and any other run that you're dealing with, monk and survivor. Even depending on what route you're wanting to use, you'll probably go down through drainage as well. But yeah, unfortunately it ended like that, but I'm just going to leave it as that. I might remake this at some point, but I just wanted to show the main point of just getting up to Pebbles. And you can make it from there. And yeah, that's everything from me. I'm probably going to make a bit more with this. I'm probably going to remake this one as well. But, alright. Goodbye.